Yes, my name is Bridget McGarry, and I'm the principal of Sacred Heart Nativity Schools.
And can you tell me about the advocacy work you do here?
Well, it's interesting when you put it in advocacy work because at first when you first look at it, it seems like it's really direct approach on intervening with students who are underserved in our community and helping them break a cycle. And so sometimes it seems that you're doing the direct work, but then you start to look at it from the bigger picture where you're impacting change, where you're demonstrating to the larger community and the neighboring schools how an approach of a holistic education specifically designed to support those who are under-resourced can provide an advocate voice. And so what I've found now is that people come to find out how I might approach working with young people, how you would provide that education, because you have to educate those who are under-resourced and underserved differently than you would for those who have everything that they need in their homes. And people don't know how to do that. So the advocacy becomes more of an educational piece to the larger community. Fortunately, we are able to do that here at the school and the work we do in providing, breaking that cycle. You know, our job is to get students who are somewhere, typically they're not at they're below the 50th percentile in testing scores when they come to us, and our job is to get them up to the 80th and 85th percentile in 3 years. And we do that, and that's exciting work, and it says that when you're committed to making something happen, you can do it. And you know, it doesn't take a whole army to do it. It just takes a few people who are willing and dedicated. So that would be something that's really exciting about our school, and I'd invite anybody to come over and visit our school at any time.
And I know that you worked at Notre Dame for a long time, so
Time.
how did you decide, or why did you decide to come and work here at the school?
Well, when I was at Notre Dame, I started off that I was in what they called at the time the campus ministry and service program. And the service program didn't really exist except for doing a party at Agnew's Halloween every year. And I knew about Nativity schools because we were sending students through our community service learning program to Nativity to do tutoring and work in the activity period. And during the justice class, Mr. Eagleson, who was the principal at the time, said, "You need to call me." And I ignored him, and it was one of those things that I ignored for like 3 weeks. And finally, I thought, well, I'll go find out what he's talking about. And what had happened was he said, "I want you to come work here." And I thought, why would I go do this when I could educate young women about being women of service? And then I thought, well, wait a minute, you need to act the way you teach. And so after a great discernment and maybe listening a little bit to God, I determined that, you know, if I was really going to be a woman who wanted to impact change, I needed to.
What do you want the effects of your advocacy work to be?
I want to see a change in the educational system. We talk about in the United States that we have, you know, free education for all, but it is not free for all because we don't have an equal system of distribution of what resources people receive within the school districts. And so when you look at public education and you look at the policies and the processes that go into place, those who are underrepresented or underserved or under-resourced don't have anywhere near the same amount of opportunities as those who do have. And that is just, it is quite an imbalance. Those who have, and those who don't. And we need to really take a stance on this, on education reform, and really look at just, you know, if I personally could, I'd blow up the whole system and start it all over again, because it's not working. It doesn't grant access. And as we know, when people have access, then they have a position of power with. And when they're denied access, then they are forced to have power over. And we want to be in a system of power with, where everybody is being able to share the sameness and the rights that they have.
Have you had to overcome any obstacles while doing your advocacy work? Or?
Oh, Yes, you do, because, well, first off, there's bureaucracy of government bureaucracy when you're talking about educational reform, because, again, education is funded through the government. And governments, are also, when they look at how to balance budgets and pay for things, etc., they tend to look at the things that, for the poor and the vulnerable, they're the ones that get cut first. So those are the things, they're not worried about as much. In education, when we should be boosting it up right now, we're spending more on other programming that is not going to fully benefit society. Education fully benefits society. When you have educated people, they contribute back to the society. So that's an obstacle. Another obstacle is that is bringing people together to collaboratively speak. There's a lot of politics in the educational reform, and so when you want to try and bring people to speak and to come to a common ground and all that, that takes time, resource, and energy, and people don't have that. And so those are huge obstacles in impacting change effectively. People need to be willing to take that stand and to put themselves out there. It is never going to make you financially rich. If you're looking for dollar signs, this is not the type of work to do. But if you're looking for saying that I built a path along this world and maybe help someone along that path and was able to journey with them, then I've done something that makes life a little bit better, and that will be repaid in generations to come. And that's a dividend that you can never put a dollar amount on. Okay, girlies, come on, we gotta get to homework class. Miss Abhishek, what time is it? Oh, you are 3 minutes late for homework club. Let's go. You have finals tomorrow. What would be the first thing you want to do today? Excellent. Everyone should be doing great. Writing is studying, but don't you have to think about the prompts you're writing on? Yes, did you get a prompt? Do you know you have to write something?